Hi everyone, I'm Rosemarie from the Unfinished Lesson, and this is a quick win series on finding that balance between routine and flexibility. So we need to have both, and if you're wondering what that could look like, definitely check out parts 1 and 2. I have the links in the description below. We've taken a look at warm-up routines and end of lesson routines or exit routines that you can use within your studio. We want to keep those short, but it is a really good idea to have those in mind. In this video, we're going to take a look at setting up a planning routine because regardless of how you plan, whether it's just a few notes at the end of lesson or, like me, you like to have time during the week to take a quick look at things and plan ahead, either one of those, you need to have a routine. Otherwise, we can just fall into a rut, and we definitely don't want that. So if we never look at the big picture, and that's actually one of the big things we need to look at, is if it's just week to week, it's really hard to define progress. We're just adrift. And so our students may end up feeling like they're not really progressing because they don't see a change, right? We're always just reacting in the moment. If we only focus on the big picture, then we can sometimes ignore what our students actually need in the moment. So we need a balance between those two. And that means we need to balance both of those in our planning routine. So the big picture, well, I would recommend looking at the How to Create Focus in our Building Excitement series, and I will have the link below. In that particular video, I talk about how do we create a big picture focus versus a small picture focus. The big picture is going to be things like your studio theme or the topics that are coming up, plus how you're going to help your students progress. We need both of those. Big picture, you can do this all sorts of different ways. So I actually have a spreadsheet. I love spreadsheets. I have a spreadsheet that lets me know this is the calendar for the year, and I have everything on there. It is when we first start lessons, it's when we're back from holidays, when we have studio events, recording weeks, group lesson weeks, but really it's everything. And I've also written in there when we need to start certain things so that we will be ready in time. Right? So if my students are going to be doing any backing tracks, well, they need to learn their song early enough that they have time to also practice with a backing track before performing. So if you have a calendar, that works really well. The other thing that I also really like having, and I've used for years, is student growth plans or annual growth plans. I've used both terms. These allow you to determine roughly what level a student is at, and then make a plan or at least have an idea of what you would like them to master before they move on. It helps in terms of taking all of those books and figuring out, okay, it's not all of those, it's just a small section of them that I can choose from for this student so that it's not too easy or too hard. We want that Goldilocks zone. I'm going to link to an article in the description about those student growth plans if you're more interested in those. Now, in terms of our weekly focus, we've taken a look at the big picture quite a bit in this video. For your weekly focus, think about where is your student at? Do you need to slow down for certain concepts? Do you need to speed up for certain things, right? We don't want to just turn the page of whatever method book they might be in and just go, okay, you have finished, and now we are learning about legato, or whatever it might be, right? We want to think about what that progression is looking like. And at times, for certain students, we're going to go pretty quickly through things, or we may need to slow down. And we want to make sure that this is really efficient. As much as I love teaching, I don't want to spend all of my time in the planning process, and I'm pretty sure you're the same. So we want to create a process that makes this really quick, otherwise it's not going to happen, right? There's a million other things, especially if you're running your studio, that need to get done. So, what I would like you to do before you go on with the rest of your day is I want you to think about what is your planning routine. Maybe it is scheduling time in your calendar. I want you to write down how you're going to look at the big picture each week and how you're going to look at a weekly focus for each student. Making time for both of those is hugely important, and it saves you a lot of time in the long run. Once you've done that, let me know how you're doing that in the comments below. I would love to hear about your process or your routine. All right, have an incredible day, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.